Hey guys, this is Jared with ComparePropFunds.com, where you can instantly compare the best prop firm offers 24/7, 365. Today is day 3 of my Purdia funded account challenge. I'm trading one micro in a 25K account and duplicating that or copy trading that to a 50K account, trading two micros. So my goal is really easy to hit. It's $100 to $200 a day within the 25K account. Day one, I took 3 trades, and yesterday I only had to take 1 trade. Today is the last day that I will be trading this account this week. I'm going to go ahead and take Thursday off and Friday. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so we have a super bullish overnight activity, pretty much 100% net long. So we have to be cognizant that a few things are happening. One, what we could really be seeing is, let me just kind of adjust this here. All right, there's the open. So we're just going to kind of watch the open. I'm only taking 1 setup, 2 variations as we've talked about. And so let's just kind of see what's going on. I have other accounts to take other types of trades, but I am going to just focus on this 1 setup with 2 variations for this challenge. So let's pull up these accounts. I'll jump over to my trading screen when we are in a trade. There's some bullishness at the start here. Up and away. Some retracement. So if we remember yesterday, we had a lot of retracement at the open. And so what we want to do is just let this market come to us and not try to force any trades, especially early in the day. So you're getting retracement again today so far. So just watching, not trying to force anything. It's weird. Okay, a little off kilter this morning, but let's see if we can get up here. We would have a trade set up brewing, but let's just see what happens. Okay, this could be a setup here in 15 seconds. Looks like it will be. Nice movement. Oh, gotta turn that off.
Order filled.
All right, we are in the trade. Let's go ahead and switch to that view. Give you guys a good look at it. I don't really like the first trade in the morning, but we will see how it performs. Stop is at 231, so let's go ahead and get that in there. So we are long, so we would have to sell our stop here. Not a big trade, not a great initial result here, but let's see. It's okay to see some selling. Oh, looks like we're going to get stopped out. Oh, I have my stop in the wrong spot.
Stop filled.
Shoot. I'm going to get back in. I have my stop in the wrong spot. Damn.
Order filled.
Okay, that's a mistake. I don't know what I'm thinking here. My stop should be at 22. All right, well, mistakes happen. So, all you can do is just learn. The old oopsie. Now the target is... Oh man, this is all messed up. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. Our target, if we get there, alright, our stop is at 22 and a quarter, and our target needs to be 308, which was my upside target coming into the day in NQ. ES is a lot stronger. Pretty impressed with that. Still 100% net long, so it wouldn't be shocking if this trade ends up not working. But, it'd still be green on the day, even with my mistake of having my stop in the wrong place. So sometimes mistakes happen, and the key is just not to let them get to you. Let me go ahead and kind of mark this out for you guys, and we can jump back to the screen that'll show the P&L. I'm in the trade. So let's see if we can just put this whole trade on the window here for you. So hopefully if you're in this trade, you've got your stop in place. Let's go ahead and hit our take profit. I said, what are we at? 307. 307. Okay. So not ideal start by accidentally getting out of a trade and losing. Let's see, I'm in 65. So 34 points-ish. So we'll have to try to make that up on further trades. Will not change my sizing. I think it's important. I told you guys I'm going to trade with 1 micro and 2 micros on the duplicated 50K account, and let's just keep that as it is. If I need to size up, I'll take it on a different account. But this early in the day, I don't even really like this entry. There's too much back and forth, especially being a holiday week. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving in America. Then we have Fridays, another half day, Black Friday. So Black Friday for shopping, not for anything in the market. But when you're at this open and you've noticed like the opening parts are chopped, it doesn't like hurt. See, there we go. It doesn't hurt that we're again, seeing some downside action makes sense because we are 100% net long in the overnight. So nothing to really worry about. Just, first trade was a loser. So moving on. Let's see here. Yeah. I lost a little bit more than I should have. I guess I should have just stayed out of the trade with my bad stop, but I'm not going to get discouraged by having one losing trade today. I've back tested my system and it's profitable most days. I think majority of the days. I think I back tested 3 weeks, all of November, and there's only like 2 negative days out of 15, 2 or 3, but 0 negative weeks. So let's see what the market wants to do. Obviously I need to kind of prepare myself for chop going into a long extended weekend. Tomorrow should be low volume, and we should also see low volume on Friday. But those are generally shorter ranges, but more bullish. I'm just running over to Financial Juice and getting that on there. Do we have any reports?
The US Chicago PMI forecast 43.6, prior 43.8.
So jobless claims today came in slightly lower than the forecast and lower than the previous. Durable goods was right on forecast. We've got crude oil. I'm just going to see if there's anything else coming on. I use a couple sites for my news, Forex Factory and Financial Juice. They should all be the same, but yeah, it looks like we have Chicago PMI in about 4 minutes. So let's see if that can move the market. So one loss, nothing to stress about. I guess I should, I could update my data. Update my P&L for you guys. All right, so our account sits now at 361. And we took 5 trades, so still batting 800. That's nothing to worry about. We got all day. So I, would like to see us get out of this account sooner than later, and have me trade other accounts, but I'm not going to stress and, panic and try to take a bunch of stuff I don't need to take.
Oracle shares gained 4.7%, set the biggest one-day jump in over a month.
What the hell is going on? I'm getting a lot of glitches on my account right now. This is bizarre. Is something delayed? I don't even... Oh, okay, never mind. I'm groovy. Okay. I was looking at the wrong chart. The
4
chart you
minutes
guys.
remaining. Ten seconds.
1 second. There we go. Big boom.
$36 spot 3, $36 spot 3, lower than forecast to $43 spot 6. Fed bids for 4-week bills total $310.8 million.
Order filled. Order filled.
That was just in another account, just flipping contracts for towards the next payout. I don't want to go into the holiday weekend discouraged, so we're just going to sit back and wait for the setup. Actually, if you guys are okay with that, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, guys. Just need to get a new cup of Joe. All right. So, let's get out my handy dandy. Where are my pens? Pens got a mind of their own. All right. So I just need to do a quick calculation. Cool. One trade down. It looks, just looking at it, volume just seems really slow. Similar to yesterday, though, at the open. If you look at the chart, we've got kind of the new week opening gap. from a while ago. So a couple weeks ago. It kind of came up right to a perfect stop. Maybe that was a sign that that wasn't a good trade. I mean, that's right to it. Coming up to it again. If we fail, I'll have a setup on another account. But it will not qualify for this account.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the US 4-week bid auction. Prior high yield 3.89%. Prior bid to cover 2.75.
So we are red on the day. Still green on the week. Only had one trade today. Just looking at it, I only took 3 trades on Monday and 1 trade yesterday. However, the setups that I have, I had 6 available on Monday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had 11 yesterday, so we're not going to get discouraged. My back testing, I think I had the longest streak of 3 or 4 losses in a row. Okay, here we go through it. Still kind of holding. We got only Infotech down a little bit from the open. But advanced decline lines making progress. Every other sector's green, with the defensive ones dark green, meaning up quite a bit. Had some nice overnight move in Meta, which gave it all back before the open. Similar with Amazon. Apple just remained strong. Nice little overnight move that's held somewhat in Microsoft and Tesla with a gap up. Apple gap up and sold it off. And Nvidia's back over 180, which is good to see. I think that thing's just going to melt back up. So we will see him. I don't know, everything. There's really no sellers in this market. I'm
The
itching.
US dollar pairs gains versus the yen after weaker than expected Chicago PMI index, last up 0.3%.
Sorry. I haven't. This is psychologically. A lot of people can't, and myself included. That's why I'm bringing it up. Deal with losses. There's like a pit in your stomach or your gut, chest, whatever you want to say, your heart. Where like you just want to get back to even. You want to be positive. Blah blah blah. And the best traders don't let it get to them. So for me, I think it's really important that I've said to myself, I set a rule. I'm trading 1 setup, 2 variations. That's it. 1 micro, copy trading to 2 micros in a 50K account.
The US dollar index turns lower after Chicago PMI, last down 0.1%.
And so I have to understand and have to share with you guys that if you can't sit and you're just like, okay, what about this setup? What about that setup? Hey, this might do it. I could probably go long here or short there. Um, you're just going to end up taking too many trades and get yourself in trouble. And what I always say is like the off the cuff trades too, like, oh, I'm just going to grab this momentum. Um, you like it's difficult to like figure out where you want to stop and invalidate your trade. Where when I have a back tested, programmable, I think that's really important. Like my trade setups are actively being programmed. Um, because for me, I'd rather have a bot click a couple buttons for me and me just sit back and make sure it's doing what it should do. Um, and also, like, you kind of want to watch your bot because, like, markets change and, like, bots go from effective to ineffective. And, like, you really need to kind of adapt to what's going on with the market. Like,
In
realistically,
5 minutes' time, we have the US 4-week bid auction. Prior high yield, 3.89%. Prior bid to cover, 2.75.
so it's, like, important to see, like, I probably shouldn't have even traded today. Traditionally, this week is slow and worth skipping, but more so, like, I want to have positivity going into the holiday weekend. And so, right now I feel fine because I haven't over leveraged. I haven't broken any of my rules. I haven't taken trades outside of the parameters I've set for this challenge in this account. Um, so I can go into the weekend, ready to hit ground on Monday. I don't feel like I'll, need to kind of check things tomorrow and try to take a trade. Um, you know, all those things can kind of get you. And like, if you look at this so far, I mean, this is just nothing than chop. So if you trade chop, if you're like, hey, I'm getting ready to buy the low end of this range, I can, withstand some, if it's kind of like a broadening pattern. So let's see here. Like, I think like a lot of people might be like, okay, we've got this going like this, and maybe if we take some pre-market time and we kind of build it, and you could set up a trade, kind of assuming some broadening pattern. That's all well and good, but that's just not one of my setups. Okay, so I can identify future trade setups or take the practice to watch how this plays out, assuming it is a broadening pattern. It looks like it will set a new low here, which would kind of solidify that. But if it doesn't, then that broadening pattern begins to change, right? Like if we end up going like this, then it's more of like a bullish pattern. Where broadening, it could be on either side of it. This kind of looks like, hey, we're getting support here, almost 4 different periods counting right before the open. That anytime we're getting below 25,200, it's getting just gobbled up. And I would comply with my thesis that we are. What? Sorry, I was gonna. I don't know. I think there's an issue with. I just tried placing a trade in a Top Step account and it said it was placing it. I need to check the. I don't see anything. Okay, broadening pattern could be playing out here. Right, and this isn't a setup for me, but let's see. what happens here. Do we have a fake?
Surely expecting the result of the 4-week bill auction.
This would be a setup. Well, let's hope I'm not in an actual trade. I'm just gonna have to pull this out and look at it. We're gonna get a trade set up here. And no. Might have one here though. Nice selling. So you could have like a measured move. So if you were doing that broadening, you could have like your short here. So your stop would be the other end of the broadening pattern. And then maybe go for like a 1-to-1. Something like that.
The S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 pair gains to a session low.
Something like that. It's pretty much 1-to-1. Not a trade setup I would take. I don't take broadening patterns, but it is a trade setup. Nice bounce off of last week's new week opening range. So we went up to the week before, now we're at last week. So we're kind of in this real tight consolidated area, and I think that's probably where we want to finish. Where we would want to finish the day. Okay, let's see if it says API disconnected. I want to see. Looks like there's an issue with Top Step. So don't trade.
Free spot 905%, free spot 905%, bid to cover 2 spot 77, 2 spot 77. The US selling $110 billion and awarding 35.31% of bids are high.
Oh, God. Okay, it looks like I am still flat. I don't know. I think the developers are just too big above their skis in this Project X platform. All right, everyone's losing their mind, so usually Top Step makes it right. It looks like I didn't get put in the trade, but if I did, I'd be down. To, this is a good example of good example of what did I want to say? I mean, look how we held the New Week opening gap. That's pretty interesting, pretty bullish. But this is that's what it was. This is a good example of when you have a new low of the day. The first bounce is usually not to be trusted. So let's see if that maintains to be the case. So I would argue like this bounce is not the low. Like you usually have a bounce and then it gets a new low and then it potentially bottoms. Well, moment of truth. I've got a page loading. Here we go. This is promising. Still no setup, but let me know if you guys have any questions. Shoot them in the chat. I think moving forward, what I'll try to do is because there's so much dead air time, is I think I'm just going to work on just doing recaps for you and going through it that way. That way we can condense this all into a few minutes, make it a lot more entertaining and a lot more valuable for you guys. I mean, I've been on for 40 minutes. It took one loser. There's nothing really going on. I was explaining the broadening pattern if you're going to take that trade. Kind of see what it can do. I can't say I'm a big fan of it. Like I said, I don't trade broadening patterns. But now that you're back in the range, you'd expect it to go back to the other end of balance. Let's just see how that trade looks. Tradeify seems to still be working fine. Oh, I bet you. Let's try another one.
Order filled. Order filled.
Well, that wasn't good. Very choppy. Very choppy. Very, very choppy. One trade, bad results. This is a little confusing. Let's change this to yeah, that's a little bit more clear. Well, no W's in the chat. We're throwing up a big L so far, but it's a trash market. I mean, the average range is like good. Volume just seems really dried up. I'll try to stay on here for about another hour max. If I don't get anything, I'm just gonna have no problem calling it. Netflix, nice little bounce. Tesla sold off its entire bounce. Microsoft holding. Apple holding. Amazon holding. Meta strong. And my good old Nvidia, nothing really to brag about. Holding near 180. I don't know. It looks like I should be okay. Really nothing exciting to speak about. So we'll just continue to kind of see what happens here. Really, I mean, this week has been a great bounce continuation from Friday. Friday was pretty much a classic TGIF setup. So that was good to see. Yeah, I'm just grasping at straws here. Nothing, no setups presenting. And, kind of put my hands in my pockets and focus on accepting that that trade was a loser. Hey, hopefully the next one will be a winner. But I got plenty of drawdown. Drawdown is a bit tight on these accounts. I mean, they really force you to trade micros. Really, I think the most valuable one is 100K instant funded just because you have a proper 2-to-1 risk reward. Everything else is, I mean, I guess this is less than 2-to-1. It's tight. I'm just hanging out, guys. Just kind of hoping to have a couple more trades. I should actually back test when these trades come, but interesting. Monday I had no short setups. And yesterday shorting was more profitable for me. But my first trade was a good short actually, yeah. I'm just going to get rid of some unnecessary things. I believe it's network error, my guys. Top stuff still hasn't made anything known. Very weak. Damn. I didn't realize the PMI was that weak.
At 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the EIA crude oil inventories. Forecast a draw of 2.363 million. Prior, a draw of 3.426 million, with a range of a draw of 0.5 million to a draw of 4.09 million. Gasoline inventories forecast a build of 1.163 million. Prior, a build of 2.327 million. EIA distillate inventories forecast a build of 0.34 million. Prior, a build of 0.171 million. And Cushing's inventories prior a draw of 0.698 million.
Barf. If you guys haven't gotten trades or you're green, get out and get the hell out of here. Go start your weekend early. This is terrible. I might need something to drink here. Let me go to the fridge. Got a little stabeezy. I'm losing money. I might as well enjoy it. Damn. I wonder if I could have looked at last year Wednesday, the last few years, and seen what the candles look like. I still like 300, and we're close enough up to 300. If this was a different account, I'd take a flyer and just play to my long. I gave out my target last night to a couple people, and it was over a 100-point move into the open, so that would have been nice. But that's not my trade setup for this challenge, and I want you guys to understand what it takes to be disciplined. And sit on your hands after a loss. Not try to look for the next entry and force trades or size up. Don't be martingale over here. Keep that in the casino if you're feeling aggressive. Yeah. This will put you to sleep. I don't know what else you guys. Let's see here. I'm having my setups programmed right now, which is pretty exciting. Something I found interesting was I literally sent Gronk, the AI, a link to one of the indicators I use that had closed source, and you'd be shocked how quickly. Like, it was the first try. I mean, I made a couple modifications after the first try, but the first try, it tried to duplicate it, aced it. And here I was about to pay somebody 5-10 hours to duplicate the code. Probably only takes an hour or two, but I think I get sucked in by how cheap their hourly is for the programming work that I've got no problem just forking it out, even though I know it doesn't take them that long. Because at the end of the day, the nice thing is you tell the AI they're wrong. They might not understand or give a shit, right? But when you pay somebody and they get it wrong, you don't have to pay them until they get it right. It's like, this is your job. I asked you to do this. If you can't figure it out, what the fuck? So I think that's something of a lot of value is, having a programmer. I could argue that, if you think about it, they're capturing so much information. It's not only making their AI smarter, how can they deploy this AI? Okay, so now I think we go to new lows, and this should put in the low of the. I wouldn't mind us see us go sweep the down to 100 or so, maybe 20s.
Reminder in 5 minutes' time, we have the EIA crude oil inventories. Forecast a draw of 2.363 million, prior a draw of 3.426 million, with a range of a draw of 0.5 million to a draw of 4.09 million. Gasoline inventories.
I would go short here.
A build of 1.163 million,
I don't like one of my
prior
gut
a build of
shots.
2.327 million. Distiller inventories forecast a build of 0.34 million, prior a build of 0.171 million. And Cushing inventories prior a draw of 0.698 million.
High above the 200s, go to 300s. So right now it'd be like you risk 50 points to the downside, and if you're stopped out in the 200s, you go for a 100-pointer. So not 50 points. Right? Your first trade you're risking 50, probably to make 50. And the second trade you're risking 50 to make 100. Like I said, 300 seems, well, yeah, 290s, 300. Seems logical we would want to close higher. But maybe they just want to grind that up tomorrow, and they're wondering who the hell is spending their day trading today. Every blue bar has basically been sold off today, so technically you could argue the opening print. That's just a move right up to the new week opening gap. So, all right, we got one. Let's see what we get. I would love to see a setup form down here, targeting 300. I'd like to see a big little candle up. This looks good. This looks like a nice W pattern. On my W patterns, I like to see the right side always. I always like to see that right side stay higher, not make a new low if it's going to be bullish. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
One minute remaining. I'll be leading with EIA crude oil inventories.
And then I guess I could kind of show you what I was speaking to. It'd be something like this. I guess it's a little over. That's close enough.
10 seconds. A build of 2.774 million, a build of 2.774 million, higher than the expected draw of 2.363 million. Gasoline inventories, a build of 2.513 million, a build of 2.513 million, higher than the expected build of 1.163 million. Distillate inventories, a build of 1.147 million, a build of 1.147 million,
Is crude
higher than the
moving?
expected build of 0.340 million. And Cushing's, a draw of 0.068 million, a draw of 0.068 million.
Why is my... Oh. Oh. I still like a new high of the day here. Right above that neckline. One setup, two variations. 1 micro on a 25K account, 2 micros on a 50K account. Copy trade.
We do have the US EIA weekly petroleum status reports on the feed for those interested.
Very choppy. You know, yesterday you had that nice move in Meta. Some nice buying. The fuck? What do you mean I can't do that? Trying to sell some. Yeah, I can. What do you mean I can't sell a covered call? What do you fucking mean? Alright, I'm just gonna go through their portal.
According to the EIA, US East Coast
Oh, might
gasoline
have a trade
stocks
here.
fell in the latest week to lowest since November 2022.
I would have taken that trade in another account, but this is weird. Like, what? I can't sell a goddamn covered call. I don't get it. Oh, maybe it's because it's two. I got two. Yeah, I bet you that's it. I could sell two. Oh yeah, sure. Sell, right? Sell to open. Sorry, cannot be placed. What? No trade. What the hell is going on? Oh, I bet you it's looking like this. Yeah. Alright, let me see what I can get. Shark Ninja Rev. Damn. Oh, it's December. So basis. 110. Alright. That's what it is. Taking profits in Unity. I need to add that. There she goes. No setup for me though. I would set my stop to break even when we got to, well, maybe even the 65s or something. I wouldn't want to endanger this trade. Up and away, boys. On to 300. Any update on top steppers? We blew everyone's account. No resets available. We are aware. Yeah, no shit. That's what I wanted. We are looking into a platform-wide issue. Yeah, we're not going to call it a major outage. Oh, you will call it a major outage. Okay. Well, it looks like my trade was not taken.
Order filled.
That seems to be working just fine. Here, I'll open up a fun trade for us here, gang. I am long this trade now. So let's see if it's worth it or if that was a terrible trade. And actually, I'm not doing that. Let me update it. I'm trying to go to 308. $308.50. So 1.3 to 1. Wait, my entry is 33.
France's President Macron to travel to China December 3rd to December 5th.
What did I say? 33? Yeah, so perfect pretty much. And I would have wanted to enter down there, but I think I got entered on this pullback. So let's leave it like that. All right. There's a trade. Just to give you guys in on the W trade. Yesterday I had a trade. Thankfully, I'd gotten out before it happened, but because I would have gotten stopped out. But it literally swept right around the level that my stop was, and then went well to target and beyond. And I'm trying to kind of decipher if I need to consider like 5-10 points in NQ below my stop is where I actually place my stop. Now that I'm really focused on this setup, I will want to see. I hope we kind of get down here and then get one of my setups. But what I want to focus on is like if I see that continue. So I've seen, Monday and Tuesday I had trades that like almost went to
JP
take
Morgan
profit.
Diamond says UK Chancellor focus on financial discipline is something that the market should welcome.
And I'm wondering if I should like have my take profit a few 5-10 points earlier as well. I mean, on both of them they would have still hit target, but it took a lot longer. And if I'm going to see that like my trades are getting right there, so there's other people kind of on the same trajectory, I want to consider taking profits ahead of them. And being like the last to get stopped out. Now that I think about it, is there a way to hide? Is there a way to hide these numbers on the price levels? There we go. Template. Save as. I think that's what I needed. There's too much going on. See if we can get a setup. I got about half a cup of coffee left. So mark it if you don't mind hurrying the fuck up. Just gonna do some housekeeping stuff. Let this run. I had a company reach out to me about partnering up. I wanted to see what we could do.
Stocks Europe 600 index extends gains to 1%, a session high.
See if we can survive the lunge and close. No lunch break.
UK 30-year gilt yield down 9.8 basis points to 5.23%, the biggest one-day fall since April.
Morning. I'm recording, Jessa.
Right now?
Yes. Yeah, well, the door's shut. I'll see you later.
I love you.
Jesus.
UK 10-year gilt yield down 6.7 basis points to 4.428%.
We're in it. 308 seems like a high target though. But if we look at how price came right up to the new week opening gap from a couple weeks ago, sold off, went up to it again, sold off, and then we had a nice basing pattern here. This isn't like super strong to me, and the drawn out here, as this gets drawn out more, I could argue that we might fail like right around here. For me in this trade, I'm just going to leave it just so we have the experience. But realistically, it's taken a little bit longer on the right side of this formation for me to be impressed with it. But that's not to say that we aren't kind of well on our way. We're already up 35 points, so a lot of YouTubers would be flat by now.
Reminder in 5 minutes' time, ECB's.
There we go.
The US to sell $77 billion.
I think what I'll do is I'll move my stop.
To settle on December 4th.
Moving my stop. Where is this?
The US to sell $77 billion in 6-month bills on December 1st to settle on December 4th.
Where is
In 5 minutes' time, we're expecting comments from ECB's Lane, who's due to speak in a fireside chat organised by Santander in Paris.
There it is. Nice movement so far. Up about 45 points. I can't say I'm super stoked on it, but it's definitely moving faster now that I said something. Failing right where it should. We don't want to see it fail all the way back down, though. I think 300's incoming. Maybe we'll get back to the 60s. Maybe the 50s. Should I show you guys the trade? Let me get it pulled up. Let's stay here. Guess we can. There we go. Easy enough. Not sure anything. I've taken a payout in this account. That's why my drawdown's 0. I'm free rolling. I like the move. If it wasn't like I'm just going for a day, I really don't care if I make money on this trade. I was demonstrating something to you guys of like a different setup that I would use on another account. And this is why you want to have multiple accounts and not just copy trade everything. It's like you need to determine, like, okay, hey, I'm a trader. What kind of trades am I going to take? Put them in a box, define them, set criteria and rules around them, and like that goes off into an account. In this one, like, I'm waiting for some more
comments from ETB Lane.
I'm expecting some more explosive moves, and so I'm sitting here like, okay, if I take $100 profit, then I gotta find another trade, and I'm only trying to make $150. Now, at this point, when I'm up over $100, there's no reason I shouldn't take something. So maybe what I'll do is I'll take, 35 here. And let's just see if I can kind of just get it to do a quick snap up. And that's, what I'm looking at. And if we look at like my P&L, the plan, right? This is my trade plan. We're well on our way. I mean, I kind of mentioned that I wanted to see some speed going up here. Now we went right to a target. If this was a normal account, I would probably take my profits. It went right up to another level that I've had on this chart for a while so it is natural for us to I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna move my stop to protect it, and I'll go up to the low. I'll risk go up to 65 here, so let's go ahead and lock in. $65. Now, what I could do, arguably, is if I get a decent pullback towards that area, I can try to add another contract right before, and then that way, if I do get any bounce, I'd be closer to hitting my target. Now, seeing that I'm less than 10 points away right now to the target, I want to just kind of let this work and hope that we get into the 10s, 20s before we flip back. Come on. Real obvious level 300. So we just hit 301.75. That's exactly where I targeted today. So that was my target for the day. I'm going to probably move my stop. I really don't want to see this, lose this. This is a good amount of money for me in this account as I'm just trying to build it back up. So I'm going to move it to 76, 75 and hope we don't come down. Right? I mean, it's almost 20% of the account. Let's just hope we can get a quick flush and get this value here. There we go. Go! The twos, she wants to. I think we're going to get filled here pretty quick. That was pretty aggressive looking. Super close. And if we look at my arrow, I actually would have hit target in my arrow already. So that's sometimes where you've got this. Just looking for where I drew it. I mean, that setup took a little longer, but waited for the neckline. Had a bad, not ideal entry. Should have been entering a little bit better. It had done nice 1-to-1. It already is close to a 1-to-1. Here we go. Let's just go get it. Go tag me out. We're at 4 more points. Come on, 3 more
The
points.
pound rises 0.6% on broad dollar weakness.
Come on.
UK Chancellor Reeves says she recognises the UK government asking people to pay more.
Come on. 306.75, so less than 2 points away from target. Do I want to consider moving mine up?
Reeves says Labour's campaign tax pledge applies to rates. We have found a video for ECB Lane's comments. It is on the feed.
Ooh, getting close. It's falling apart though. Kind of found a new
ECB
little.
Lane says for sustainability of inflation.
I'll show you guys where I'm moving my
we need
stop.
to see deceleration of non-energy price growth.
Just to move it up just a click more. So I'm going to move up to 288. Or 285 at least. Yeah, we'll do an even 100. It's coming down hot. And what I did, I just kind of just looking at the structure of the move up, I kind of found this like bullish order flow. So I want to kind of position myself right where I did, moving it up, expecting that half of that would kind of be poked into, and it's kind of doing exactly that. Oops. Sorry, guys. So if it, kind of fails this level, that's where I want to get out now. And it looks like it wants to. Let's see what it can do here. So far, it's kind of bounced right off of it. We were within 2 points. Realistically, I would have taken profits if this was a different account. But for me, I'm just trying to hit the $150 target. If I have to take a second trade, I really probably don't want to today. Just not feeling it. I don't really need to hit those 5 days. Like, that's never a problem for me. So that's just nice. Perfect bounce right in the key area. Failing right again at that candle from 11:20 where there's a lot of selling. So I want to kind of see if we can flush up to my number, hit it, and then that might be the high of the day. I'd like to see us get up to 315. So arguably, I'm still in a good spot. And this is some nice buying here. This is looking good. Again, I'm trying to get less than 2 points, but I will just go ahead and get stopped out. So far, it's totally respecting that volume imbalance and the bullish order flow in the midpoint of it. And if it fails, I get stopped out. Let's go back to my trade. You can see I haven't moved anything. You know, I got no problem making $100. You know, I'm risking. You know, it's kind of a nice little spot here. You know, I'd like to see us stay strong, but if we flush it, we flush it. I'd like to see us just crank above and get into the tens, and then that kind of be the 10 to 20, be the stop of the high of the day. But my overnight target that I shared with people was 300. It's hit that. My first version of like where I saw a target going was hit. So if anything, I might want to consider. You know, if it's going to go, I think I can move up here. And I kind of, you know, you could argue I could go to here. Like if you're going to go, you're going to go. There we go. She's up. She's up and away. Whew. Should go right through that number now. This is just a lot of buying. Don't go too hard past it. See, come back about midway here. And how you'd like to see the push. Do I want to risk $20?
UK 30-year gilts extend gain. Yield drops 10 basis points to 5.22%.
I think I'm just going to leave this. I'd like to see it be very bullish here now in the second half of this candle formation. There's still 20-some seconds left. And actually, I might have a setup on the other account here. It won't be a big trade necessarily, but... Okay, I'm going to move my stop right where it is. Perfect. Okay. This is promising. Come on now, go. I want to see it go right here. Not that direction. I want to be just $1 below this.
Order filled.
120. Okay. Now let's see, go back here and see if like how this bullish order flow holds up. Looks like it's still kind of holding up right now. No. That should top right above it now. That's a strong buying right there. Boom.
Order filled.
Oh, shoot. What just happened? We're long? No, we're short? 3? What the hell is going on? Why are we short 3? Oh, I had to take profit still sitting there? Jesus.
Order filled.
Let's get out of that. Well, profit target's hit, high of the day's 12, so that trade worked out perfectly. Shouldn't have messed with it. Shouldn't have messed with it. My first stop raise was perfect. Second one got too tight. But target hit, lesson learned, perfect W trade. You know, again, you know, I hit a while ago on mine. So still no trade in my other account. And I'll let you do. I'll do a recap if I get to go in another trade. That's why it's always important to make sure you're not in trades. So I will update this. I'm not going to update. That was not a trade. But we are down to 46. So I lost $15 on that. That was an accident. It happens. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I do want to let you know. What was I going to say? I want to let you know kind of like what I saw. So for me, it was, you know, looking at the projections for tomorrow, yesterday, I anticipated us getting up to the 300s. We just hit the 15. That was kind of my upside target. So the W formation pattern worked perfectly. My first trade was a failure. I'm only going to take one unless additional setups present themselves. 1, 2, 3. Well, hold on. Let's wait 30 seconds. I might have one here, guys. I might have one. Let's get this thing ready. Let's see what happens. I'm going to watch. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe false alarm. Okay, false alarm. All right, guys. Like I always like to finish this, keep it classy and let your trades do the talking. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Peace.